In the previous episode, I failed miserably to kill the Moon Lord. We tried twice, and I'm pretty good at the Moon Lord. Oh my goodness, the storm in the game right now. Holy cow. Pretty good at the Moon Lord, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I think I'm gonna blame not having played Melee a whole heck of a lot in recent times against the Moon Lord. I know that's an excuse, but it's one we're sticking with. So today we're gonna do not the Moon Lord. We're gonna do a bit of a boss rush. We have to kill the Queen Slime still. I might do the Frost Moon, maybe. I want to do the Martian Madness stuff. Basically, we want to try to get as much of the swords as possible that we're going to need for the Zenith, because as soon as Moon Lord's dead, bam, Zenith, baby. Actually, let's double check that it hasn't been changed in the Mod of Redemption. Oh, I don't know why I put an X. It looks the same so far. Come on, go. All right. Oh my goodness, I hate when it does this. It's got, oh my goodness. Okay, here, we'll do the scroll wheel then. Fragmentation of Virtue. It got changed. Okay. That's good to know. So I'm assuming, we close Duke over here. That might be this? Nebulous. Okay, it's Nebulous. So it's literally the final boss. So I don't even get my Zenith until the final boss is dead on Mod of Redemption. Curse you. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I've said you know what? I gotta get out of here for a moment. I've said multiple times that I think it's okay for mods to go in and change how the Zenith works because it's really, really powerful. But yeah, that's a whole actual other discussion we're gonna have today, based on boss progression on some comments that I have been getting. And I think that my views on game design should put light on what I'm talking about there, but we'll get to that in a second. So I could do, and I'm going to try the second Omega prototype. That's for sure. Maybe I do Betsy. That might be too much time tonight. Empress is on the list and Duke is on the list. So we'll see if we can boss rush enough things. So it really depends on if I die to, the freaking Queen Slime. I'll tell you, I am exhausted today, and not in a normal, like, oh, I'm physically exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted. I had to have a very hard conversation with somebody who's going through some stuff today, and it just drained me. I'll tell you what, I am like, I'm just feeling so done. So I know yesterday was a short episode unintentionally. I just did the pillars, and you know what? That takes a lot of time, and I didn't realize it had taken as much time as it did. I don't think I have a gelatinous crystal. I thought I did. Okay, you know what? I gotta go find one. So let's go into the underworld. This is perfect start because this will give me a chance to discuss. Yeah, so I had a rough time with that today, and I got to the end of it. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so drained having this conversation with somebody. But at least I could help out a little bit, I think. So anyways, I'm so tired from that. My brain is just gone. If you've ever had to have a tough conversation with someone, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you don't, and you're probably young, and I do not envy you having to do that for the first time because it's never a fun thing. And because of that, I'm just getting this done. I'm going to bed. I'm so tired tonight. And not, like I said, not in my normal, I only got this blah, blah, blah amount of sleep tired. It's just like, this is just a ridiculous tired. Let's get these crystals. I'm going to search all over and see if I can find a second one. I doubt that I say this. I'm going to curse myself by saying this. Is that another one there? I don't think it is. I'm going to curse myself by saying this, but I doubt that I'm going to need more than one. Famous last words then. Famous last words. I don't have enough gold to get that yo-yo glove. I do want to get a yo-yo though. I think it would be wise. Would I just get a new item in the shop? Have I? I'm curious. For sure, I have killed like all the enemies in here. So like, what did I just kill that I hadn't killed before in the underground hallowed biome? I don't know. I like the effect from the fire aura we have. Is that another one? I think it is. Bam, baby. We'll keep looking. I think there might be a few that have spawned because, well, I've not been farming for them lately. So I want to talk about game design real quick because I think that one, if you've never worked in game design, and you have no mental inclination of like what this looks like, it's complicated. It's not as easy as I would have thought when I was in high school. And things have gotten even different since then, and I've worked in game design and have been a game designer. So it's one of those, unless you know, you don't really know. Maybe you're someone who's like watched, I don't know, Danny O'Dwyer's like no clip documentaries. You get a sense of kind of what game design is like. You get an inside look, but until you've actually done it, it's difficult to describe. And I know that people who make mods are doing game design. Heck, if you're a tabletop player and you're doing like D&D or something like that, and you're a dungeon master, you're doing game design on the fly a lot of the time. You just don't even realize it. So I wanted to talk about boss progression in context of game design, because there is a thing here that we see deviate fairly frequently between mods, which tells me that people who are making mods don't necessarily consider this as a thing, or the ones that do, you see because they put it in the mod. So let's take, for example, Plantera through Moonlord. So just this whole block of stuff here on our boss checklist, because I think this is a very good example, although you could do the exact same thing for King Slime through Wall of Flesh. But we're specifically, because this is more fresh in our minds, we're going to go Plantera to Moonlord, and we're going to look at all of this stuff here. Now, when you're creating a mod like Mod of Redemption, or even like Thorium, that is very vanilla, it stays true to what the original vision of the game is, more so than something like Calamity or Starlight River. You know, those are huge overhauls of the game. The mod like Mod of Redemption is not. It adds a lot to make the game still feel like Terraria, still have the normal Terraria progression, still feel like you're doing a lot of stuff. And I applaud that, because I think that is something that's really fun. However, most mod developers who are doing that are not going through and adjusting some of these bosses, some of the like Moonlords or Lunatic Cultists or Golems and whatnot. And that's a huge oversight for mod developers. Now it's a time thing, right? You have to commit time to do these things. And you might be wondering why I'm getting into this, because I think it's important. I think it's really important for us as players of mods to understand this, and then people who are developing mods to also consider this as a thing. When you have a huge gap here between Plantera and Moonlord, where normally you only have Golem, Empress, and Duke, I'm not counting Betsy in that, as like your main things that you're doing boss-wise in between. Like, you're going from Plantera and you're like, yes, I got Plantera down, I can go to Golem. Now that I've killed Golem, I have access to a bunch of stuff. I could go to the dungeon and get a bunch of stuff there, and now I could buff myself enough to kill Duke and Empress. A lot of people skip Duke. I get that. Some people skip Empress, but she's got some really good stuff. And if you can get stuff from these two bosses, then you're set up for Moonlord. That's how the progression works. You kill Plantera, you get a bunch of stuff, you get access to the dungeon, then you go to Golem, you kill him really easy because that's just how he is, and then you're set up to do these two bosses before moving on to the Moonlord, right? That's how the progression works. But in a modded scenario like this, you've got all of this other stuff. You got the Omega Prototype 1, the second one, and then you have all of the items that you've been farming essentially from Skeletron Prime, like the mechanical bosses onward. And as you've noticed, I'm not using most of them. Like the Midnight is such a cool weapon. I've used the Spell Song quite a bit since I got it, but it has now just been replaced by these two weapons. Totally fine. I didn't really even use the Tiny Cleaver, even though I think it's a freaking cool weapon. And that came from a boss that we like just got done doing. You would expect it to be able to last a bit longer. You could say that these things just need to be better balanced, which actually I think they're really well balanced in the grand scheme of what's here. What I mean, though, is that I've not used it because it fits too closely with the progression of other items in the game. Like between the Terrorblade and the Solar Eruption, this doesn't really fit. In fact, once you get the Terrorblade, it's kind of, as we've seen, blocking a lot of this out, even though these are all kind of in the same tier of when you get it. So like, why would I use the Tiny Cleaver when the Terrorblade is just so much better? It's just one of those weird situations, and this doesn't happen for every class, I might add, but for Melee specifically, we're seeing the fault here. So what what must be done is a variety of different things that could be done, but one of the options is going in and buffing these bosses. So for example, in the previous episode, we saw that I boosted through to Lunatic Cultist because he's really easy. We killed the Lunatic Cultist and we got access to the pillars, which gave us access to these weapons. Now, if the Lunatic Cultist had been adjusted by whomever mod developer, in this case, Mod of Redemption or Thorium, then you get a situation where I can't do it until I kill these other things. But the problem is you have to then, if you adjust one, in most cases, you have to adjust them all. Because then, you know, let's say you leave Planetara as is. Let's use this as our base. You leave that as is, then you adjust it. You balance your Omega prototype based on how you want to, but then you make it so you have to kill the Omega prototype to get good enough gear to kill Golem. So Golem then has to be buffed, and then you do your second prototype to do a set of progression, and then you move on and make Betsy. Maybe you change Betsy, maybe you don't, because I think it's fairly optional in some class cases. Then you either leave Empress, 'cause she's kind of hard, and you buff Duke a little bit, making it more doable with the stuff that you got to make yourself more powerful from Omega prototype. And then you're having to deal with the fact that the stuff that you're getting from these bosses is then the preferred over the vanilla items, which in a mod that you're trying to keep it close to vanilla stuff to begin with, and you're starting to lose the vanilla feel. Like it's a really complicated balancing act that I do not envy anybody who is modding this game do. But my point is, it's too easy in this current iteration to go from Golem straight to Lunatic Cultist. And all of this stuff in between just doesn't really matter. And I want to like this a lot more, but if I can kill Golem and then move straight to Moonlord and kill Moonlord, I'm sure I could do it on 1 or 2 more attempts. Then, well, what's the point of all that? That's a huge problem. So it's one of those things that you have to consider as both a player and a mod developer of like, how do we balance these things, and how do we give constructive feedback on this kind of stuff too? So hopefully that makes a lot of sense, but let's move on and go do the Queen Slime. Do I actually have enough gold to get my buff here? I don't know if I do. Let's go combinations. Oh, and if by the way, if you have any like pushback on that, you have things that you want to like retort with, go right ahead. Like I feel like we can have this conversation. That's part of game design, is the back and forth and trying to like iterate. Iteration is very huge. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Probably just gonna use Solar Eruption. Let's buff up. Let's close this out. Oh, hello there. She came in like a wrecking ball. As you can tell, I'm not really too concerned over the difficulty here. I got picked up 2 just in case I got a little too cocky. Oh my goodness, the the reflection there is so good. And the Daybreak, great weapon, gotta love it. In fact, we could probably just go ahead and do this again real quick and just see if we can get maybe 1 or 2 more items out of a bag. I mean, at this point, we're just getting gold. I'm gonna skip over this fight though. So I think this is gonna be a funny addition here. Let's just put the Queen Slime relic down right after, our Lunatic Cultist. Yep. Okay, we'll get that. Get our bunches of stuff. I don't need the blade staff, although I will hold on to it. Everything else here is fairly okay. Although I do like the Queen Slime's mount as well. We're gonna drop these in that, and I'm just gonna sell the rest of it because that is how I roll. Sell that, all of this, and had I buffed for that? I guess I did. Okay, good. Feeling a little confused at first. It's like, wait a second, why is all this stuff here? It's because my charm is amazing. Now, next boss on the list for our boss rush is the Omega prototype. So let's go ahead and do that. What do I have to do it at night? Use it at night after the golem has been defeated. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a truffle worm for the Duke. Maybe I go do that. I'm gonna need a bridge. I'm gonna need 2 bridges in order to do Duke. So maybe I go get an insta bridge real quick. I don't think I have enough stuff. Let's see. Bridge. No. All right. I'm going to need wood platforms. And then I can make 2 of these. So platform. I'm going to say, I need 100. I guess I could do... Why can't I just find normal wood? Fine. Well, I don't want to use dynasty wood. I don't have enough of that. All right. Here we go. 200. Bam. Okay. Bridge. Why is it not working? Does it literally just have to be normal wood plant? Oh my goodness. Okay. I got a truffle worm. I got this all set up. I'm buffed, right? Buffs. Yes. Many buffs. All right, here we go. Truffle worm. Go. Hopefully this goes well. Daybreak, I think I'm going to use. Yeah. Let's do daybreak. I think that's going to be the key here. If I can get the Duke's wings, I'd be a very happy man. I think Duke's wings are super good for Empress. So once I get that, then Empress is kind of a lot easier. And then after that, I also get... I also, because of Duke's wings, get far better maneuverability on the Moonlord. So that's kind of the current goal here. Bubbles. Shoot your bubbles at me, Dukey boy. I hate the Duke, but you know what? In recent years, I'll tell you what. I have gotten a lot better at Duke after doing things like Calamity and Fargo's. So, still not my favorite fight, but I'm a lot better at it, as you can tell. Okay, let's go ahead and open that up. Ooh, we got them. Yes, we did, baby. Yes, we did. Oh, that feels nice. Cool. I like Duke wings. I'll take those. Let's go ahead and just put this down here. Feels good. Right, what else do I need to do? We can dump that. We can go ahead and put those in. I wasn't expecting to do that so quick, but that's the power of the daybreak. Now, I still want to do the Omega prototype. We're not quite there yet. Empress, maybe? Maybe I do Empress first. Again, the problem is that like now, because I have to wait till nighttime. Now I could just like, you know, sleep in the bed and make it nighttime. But at this point, I'm just like really going ham, getting all of this extra stuff. I managed to get the Fishron wings. If I do Empress, I might be able to get 1 or 2 things that could help there. So that's something to consider. Where did these, where do the lace wings actually, I know that they spawn, I think they only spawn at night, I think is what it is. So either I wait till night to do the Omega prototype. Oh my goodness, just it's late. Oh my goodness, the painter, buddy. You know what? We forgot we are using Fargo's mutant mod. We can just pick them up. Okay, I've been sitting here for a while trying to find prismatic lace wings, but I'm having a hard time getting one to spawn just because of the nature of our biome here. I will eventually get one, I think. It's just, it's proving to be a bit difficult. So I think what we're gonna do is go do the Omega prototype. I think that's gonna be a better idea. So let's pop that in there. Am I still buffed up? I got just a couple seconds on those, so we'll rebuff. And yeah, let's go ahead and summon this. What are we gonna get? The welder bot. Wait, is it? It's the first one again. Is that because I have to kill the welder bot? Right? Hold on, I may have actually read the summon wrong. All right, that's fine. We'll do the welder bot this time and see if things change. But at this point, this should be a lot easier with the daybreak. Heck, it should be a lot easier with all of the weapons we got. Oh my goodness, I just ran right into that stupid cleaver. Facepalm. I think I still have most of my buffs. Let's double check. Only dropped a couple gold. Not that big of a deal. Also, I can now check the second Omega. Use at night after the golem has been defeated. Omega transmitter. Omega transmitter. First Omega prototype. First Omega prototype. Right click to switch. Oh, I see. Okay. I just need to read. That's the problem. That's that right there. That's the problem. Let's go get a shine potion real quick. Pop over here. And I like how I have their doors all still barred up. Worth it. Grab one of these. Okay, so if we switch to, why is it not switch? Oh, just because I got that open. If I right click second Omega prototype, just gotta read. Isn't that funny? Let's do this again. Bam. What are we gonna get? This guy. Again? Oh, we got drill. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think the solar eruption is the weapon to use here. Or not, because I'm just not doing any damage to this boy. Interesting. So maybe for the, oh, what the heck? This is amazing. I feel like I'm playing like Dead Space. Yeah. What was that? What did I kill? I had killed something that gave me some form of gold. Let's run away from whatever the heck's going on there. Is he coming back? Oh, yes, he is. Maybe what it is I actually have to deal damage to the little guy first. Oh, I don't. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. Why are the effects on these bosses like top tier? They're so good. That's such a cool mechanic. Oh my goodness. Okay. Come here, my buddy. My pal. I have so many of these little guys. All right. I feel like I need to kill the little bots first, almost. That is such a cool effect. That's not, I don't like that. Don't hit me with that. Where'd the little guys go? Little guys. Oh, wormy boy got me right in the face. I don't like that. Okay. I think I'm about to kill one of the, I did. Okay, I got him dead. Big wormy boy coming. Let's run. Get the heck away from them. Let's go ahead and pop a healing potion. I'm just looking at my icons at the moment, trying to figure out where the little guy is. There he is. Okay. No. At least I bumped into him rather than hitting him head first like I did the previous time. That's so fair. You can't do that. He can just like beam in on me. Kill him. Shoot. We did it. This is cool. Oh, that was a fun boss. That was really cool. That would have been really frustrating if I was still using like the spell song. A little sad how useless the shield technology was. Can't completely encompass something as the shield projector will throw a hissy fit. Oh my goodness, get away from me. I had to get some ideas on how to use this to my advantage though. Anyways, same as last time, I'll ready another machine for a test. Might take a bit longer though, as I try out a design of my own. Until then. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that quite a lot. I like that the relic is a drill. It's a power drill. Well done on that fight. I think that was a really well designed fight. It was super cool. Power drill summons a mini. Oh, that's kind of cool. It reminds me of like the dark iron dwarf drills from World of Warcraft and Wrath of the Lich King. Not a reference many will get. I think maybe we'll see. Micro shield core summons a micro shield drone that appears whenever a hostile projectile is shot at the player. When a projectile hits the shield, it will release a discharge, I beg your pardon, and reflect it. The shield can take 500 damage. Once destroyed, it will take 10 seconds to reactivate. Ooh. I feel like that's a direct upgrade to our shield. Let me know if I can run both. Actually, maybe I can. Let's see. Maybe? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Corrupted Xenomite, right? We got that. Were we getting that before? I guess we were, because that's how we made the tiny cleaver. Yeah, that's cool. And then we got Omega power cells. So these are for some other things, like the sun in palm. So basically, it looks like we can become. There's a label attached. Fire bonus chance to inflict on fire. This looks like I could become a Iron Man. Wow, I just like really blanked on that one. Insane knockback. Holds out this mechanical hand to grow a ball of energy. Disintegrates most projectiles after reaching a certain size. Ooh. Release left click to shrink it back down. Overcharging will cause it to explode and set the player on fire. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Utilizing the same revolutionary heatsink technology Obliterator's super heat ray uses, but instead of being buried in your chest, it is in your palm. It's just that simple. Caution, Gyrus, that's how you pronounce it, is not responsible for irresponsible and or dangerous use of the sun in palm product. Please hold the sun in palm product as far away from yourself while in use. I feel like I'm gonna get a suntan or something like that. What do I need for all this? I need plating. I don't think I have any plating. And the brain. Where do we get the brain? Omega Obliterator. Oh, so we can't even make it yet. Right. That's a cool looking weapon. I'm assuming that comes from the third prototype. So we'll get there eventually. See, okay, here, let's do this real quick. Let's look at the second prototype. Loot. See, this is the thing. Even this kind of backs up what I was saying. Even doing this boss, did I really get anything outside of the core? Like, I think the shield is fun, but I kind of already had something similar. And the power cell is obviously a useful material, but when? When is the useful material? I could get the oversized screwdriver, which is not something I could make before. Right, this is the one that allows you to bounce. Let's go ahead and make it because we have the stuff for it, or maybe we do. I don't think I have the plating. Let's find out how much that plating is going to cost. Actually, I have no idea how much gold I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, well, actually, does he sell anything new? I didn't really check there. Medic backpack kit. Oh, that's cool. Vanity. Okay. The mini warhead. Wait, I didn't think have I seen that before? A huge explosion that will destroy most tiles. I think I have seen that before. Okay. Anyways, I'll make this weapon, but I don't think that even just because of the way that it sounds like it's gonna work, even if I match it. Oh, I got a moonflare fragment from what? Oh, from those little bat things. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. Disregard that. We'll put the power drill in, the feather, enchanted night crawler. I'm gonna put the tiny cleaver away now too. We'll hold on to that just in case. All right, what was it called? The screwdriver. Let's see it. Okay. So this does go up to 300% damage. I mean, my DPS is doing pretty good. You see, it is going up from the increase in damage to it. Okay, here's the problem with this weapon, though. This is not great. It says deal extra damage to robotic enemies. This is not great against bosses. Because it's like the power glove, which actually I thought was really fun. It's a cool item, but doing this to an enemy where you're taking contact damage is not going to work. So it goes back to my point. Like, even if I did the first Omega prototype, Golem, and then straight to the second Omega prototype, which isn't much different than what we have here. I would have just used the Terrorblade. It would have been harder to hit the little guys for sure, but I think it would have been fairly easy and doable. Getting the reward of this weapon that I'm not going to use doesn't feel great. And that's what I mean by what I was saying, like the rebalancing of things as you go is if you're going to have items on a boss that you can get or that you can make from a boss that are cool, there's got to be some use to them. I mean, obviously you can use this for things. What I mean is there's got to be some feeling of progression there, like, ooh, I got this cool thing, let me go use it, and feeling like it's a useful thing rather than sticking to the Terrorblade for forever, because the Terrorblade is stupidly good until you get the Zenith, and then the Zenith becomes the thing, even though that has been pushed back. So yeah, it's an interesting conundrum that people face when modding Terraria. And yeah, I didn't really feel like I love that boss. I feel like it maybe needs to be a bit earlier. Is that strange? Like maybe before Golem, but that's a hard thing to do because you have this one right after Plantera. I don't know. Maybe skip those around a bit, because again, I think that's a super cool boss. But if it's in a weird spot with a bunch of other bosses, that makes it a lot easier if you just choose to go do those other bosses. And there's nothing telling me that I can't go do those other bosses, right? Like with Lunatic Cultist, you can't do Moonlord until you kill the Lunatic Cultist. That's just how that is. You can't do Golem until you kill Plantera. There might need to be some kind of barrier between the things here in order to force you to do it. I think that might be a solution, not necessarily the best solution, but definitely a solution. Let me know what you guys think about that. It's like I said, it's a weird conundrum. And I think some mods do it better than others. This one has been fairly good about it so far. Like, oh my goodness, I can praise the first half of this mod so much. Going from King Slime to Thorn to Urhan to the Keeper, like even the Seed of Infection, those were such cool bosses to get right at the early part of Terraria. And it felt like I was being rewarded for doing them and getting cool stuff for it. Even though I could have just gone straight to the Eye of Cthulhu, and I kind of did, and get some buffs out of that. So yeah, weird thing. Let me know what you guys think of that.